Hello, everybody. Welcome to Two Brothers Podcast. It's January and Ashero 76. Today we're going to be talking about MMOs. Now, MMOs, what might you ask, I wonder? Well, you pretty much know what MMRs are. We're going to assume that, so.
MMRs?
Yeah, MMR? Yeah, play too much League of Legends. MMRs. We're talking about MMOs, not MMRs. So MMOs are MMOs. I'm pretty sure you guys know what MMOs are, so let's just get to it. So, the question Ashero was asking was, what's the first MMO you ever played? And for me, well, we'll talk about mine later, but Ashero, I'm gonna let you go ahead. You take the flow, man.
Well, my first MMO was Star Wars: The Old Republic. And I played that before it was released. Did some testing. Got paid to do that. It was a pretty good game. It got dumbed down, I want to say, until what we have today, which is the dumb version of the original game. What they wanted to do is something that For Honor did, and now they added this like late, I want to say December. No, that was September. They added that ongoing battleground where you can put resources in this battle and help your side. Something to that effect.
That's what they wanted to do in the beginning.
Yeah, it was in it. It was in the game. They had a battle going on. You can go in. It was either PvP. You can go in a PvP game. If you win so many matches, you would get like, let's say like 3 tanks, and then you can put that out on the Battle of Ilum and help them. And then your forces would have better equipment on Ilum, or what have you. You can get advanced equipment by doing different or other things. That was the idea. It never really came true. Just like any dreams, didn't happen. Later on, they added something. I'm not exactly sure what they have in it now, but all I know is like an ongoing fight against the light side and dark side.
Okay. Yeah.
That's what happened there.
Okay, that's cool. And I played that with you for a good little while, but it was late when I got into it. Like when I got into it, it was already like kind of dying out. But I had fun while it was actually, I think it was the most fun out of a MMO that I've ever had, to be honest with you. Maybe, well, wait a minute, where'd my lead go? Hold up, I had a lead. It's not here. It's not in my inventory. So if you ride the thing, the lead just goes away. If you ride it,
I have no idea.
That don't look good. I don't know if that's good. Well, I guess it'd be something I just have to deal with. He's down here anyway. I don't think he can get all the way up. Anywho,
who's down where?
My donkey. My donkey's down here without a lead. But he's down here in the mine with me, kinda. He can't come down the stairway, of course, but he can come down the big old horse walkway I done made. Yeah. I'm just gonna mine, endlessly.
Right.
But what was I saying? Something about Star Wars? Oh yeah, that's right. Yeah, I got into it pretty late, and I think that was the most fun out of a MMO that I've ever had. So let me ask you, because I played this game too. Let me ask you, what did you enjoy about the game? What was the good part of it? What did you enjoy? And then tell me what was the moment? What was the most fun moment in it? Because what you enjoy about it may not be the most fun moment.
Alright, so what would you like to answer first? The most fun moment, or what I like about it?
Yeah, what did you like about it? As far as like theming and all of that jazz, and whether, whether you like the art, whether you like the story, whether you like the, challenge, or whether you like to play with people, What did you enjoy about that game in a specific, thing? What specifically did you like about it?
What I specifically liked about the game was the fact that it was, let me see, it was Star Wars based. Do you ever played that game where you are a nobody?
Yeah.
Which you were a nobody in this game. You depending on what you're playing, you could be a slave. And it's like rising up from the ashes and the dirt from what you were, and proving that you could be somebody important. And you rose, even though you had a lot of hardships dealing with your masters or being a bounty hunter, just being double crossed. Period.
Yeah, I remember that.
Dealing with that. Being able to deal with that and become a better person.
Yeah.
Is what I like about the game. Like it just gave it a depth that no, I don't think a lot of other games will do.
Okay.
Will give.
And what was your most fun moment in it? Like that one moment where you're like, I love this game, best game ever. You know, well, yeah. If you ever felt that way, what was the moment that made you feel that way? Yeah.
The moment that made me feel that way, I love this game, was I was doing some dailies by myself on a planet.
Yeah.
At the time I wasn't sure, but everybody always told me, you know, how I geared myself and how I had my stats were wrong. You know, a tank doesn't build this way, but I pulled the most aggro in every, you know.
So you figured out a non-meta build, basically.
That worked really good.
Yeah. Basically, that's how.
So
it works.
I always got flack for it, but you know, I always, you know, came out on top. But they never acknowledged that. But anywho's, I was on this planet just chilling. I'm pretty sure it was 3 of them, 3 Republic characters. I was on the Empire. Jumped me and proceeded to attempt to kill me. Well, in their failed attempt, not only did I ghost all 3 of them, I lost 5% of my health in this entire fight. And they were in full PvP gear. Now you thinking to yourself, you should have died. They're doing like so much percentage more damage to you because you're well, my gear was set that not only was I tanky, I did damage. Like I did damage. And yeah, that at that moment it confirmed in my mind, like, yes, I love this game. You don't have to do what everybody else is saying to do. Do your own thing. Now I don't know if that's the case, but that's how it was back in the days.
So you didn't have to follow the crowd and stuff. You could be that like super hipster type dude. I got you. Yeah, I feel you, man. I got you. For me, let me tell you what I liked about the game. I like the fantasy. I like to be able to become an actual, like, you know, Sith Lord or Dark Lord of the South, or, you know, a Jedi that stands for truth and righteousness and justice. And I like the fact that you did, just because you were a Jedi didn't mean you have to be, you know, for truth and justice and righteousness or whatever, you know. If you wanted to be a dark side Jedi, you could be a dark side Jedi. If you want to be a light side Jedi, you could be a light side Jedi. You know, if you want to be a light side Sith, you could be a light side Sith. People will give you flack for it. Oh yeah, you know, you're a Sith, you should be evil, da 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 da. That's not necessarily the case, and we'll talk about that later. That's like a whole other podcast in and of itself. But the game didn't force you into that mold. You know what I mean? The game didn't force you into that way of thinking. That's what I liked about it. Or at least one of the things I liked about it. Another one of the things I liked about it is the teamwork that we would have. Like whenever I got my character leveled up and we was able to go into the guild, we was able to do the guild thing, and we was able to what do they call them, guilds?
Yep. Okay.
They were called guilds. Okay. Whenever we was able to do the guild and get together and actually do operations and things, and it was like, you go over there, do this thing, hit this mob, bring him over here, and we strategically get stuff together. I know people will be like, oh well, you know, World of Warcraft does that and better. World of Warcraft is subscribed, and I didn't have much money, so I had to be a free to play dude, you know. So I had to do this all without with little to no money. 5, 6, 7, 8, 9.
But the thing about it with this game, we took turns every raid night to buy him a weekly pass.
Yep.
So he could raid with us.
Exactly. That's just the thing. It was just the camaraderie and stuff. You know, it was a very, maybe it was the people I was playing with that was good, but that game facilitated that type of thing that went on. You know, and that's another one of the things I like. Plus, you get to be a freaking Jedi. I mean, I'm just saying, there's something to be said for that. I mean, if you could have maybe like the worst game in the world, and as long as you get to be a freaking Jedi, there's some merit in it. You know what I mean? Those are the two things I really liked about it. You know, they did have gigantic open worlds, but there wasn't much in them to discover. You know, at least not much. There was some, but not. It could have been a whole lot better. They could have packed the world with more things, but I guess budget's a budget, you know? My most fun moment, let's talk about that. My most fun moment in Tor was when we were doing, let me think, hold up. I had fun in the PvP matches sometimes, but I had fun on the raids. Actually, yeah, I think it was this one raid. Yep, that's it. You remember Master and Blaster? Remember Master and Blaster? You remember Master and Blaster? Me? I remember Master and Blaster. Man, shoot, that was my most fun moment. You know exactly what I'm talking about. Master and Blaster. So let me take it from the top. Let me take it from the top.
Operation Thunderhead dispatches go.
Master and Blaster are these two droids that you have to defeat in one of those operations. In World of Warcraft, I guess you call them raids. Yeah, in one of the raids. And there are two droids you have to defeat. And you go up to him, to this big gigantic droid, and his name is Blaster. It's not Master. And the name of the boss is Master and Blaster. And you're like, where's the Master? You know, oh man, if Blaster is this big gigantical droid who's like 50 feet tall and he's just smacking people off the edge of the platform and jump. You know, there's this gigantic platform in the sky. It's like on an aircraft carrier or whatever in the sky, like a helipad shield type thing. This big old thing is in the sky and he's knocking you off of it. He's shooting like missiles and everything. He's knocking you to an electric fence on the other side. You would think his master's got to be like way bigger than this. You know, he's like, oh shoot, it's gonna be like some mega droid, or maybe we're sitting on his back right now or something. You know. He's like, all right, y'all, don't make me call the boss.
Oh, you done it now. Here comes the boss. Oh, you done it now. Here comes the boss.
And this droid has a southern accent, like I don't know what. Like I live in the South. I ain't never heard. Well, I don't know. I guess I heard people talk like that, but still, that ain't the point. Alright, now don't make me call the boss.
Oh, you done it now. Here comes the boss.
And we get him low enough. We stick to the plan. Get him down enough, and he calls the boss. Alright, it's time for the boss. Boss comes down, and he's like, the boss is here, and I don't see nothing. I'm like, where is the boss? What in the world? And all of a sudden I hear at my microphone, hey, grab the what's his name? Blaster? Grab Master, get him. And all of a sudden this little R2-D2 droid come flying out of nowhere, like spinning around and shooting flames out of his side. And there's a laser beam coming from him, and he's just this one tank. He had like 60,000 health. Gonzo. Just like that. And he came across me. He ran across me with the laser pointed at him, and it hit me, and I said, and I died. Man, I'm the healer. And man, you don't let the healer die in the raid. You just don't do that. I mean, at least not in that game. But man, shoot. Let me tell you something. That surprised me. And when he won, he was like, hey, what I tell you, boss? Dunderhead operation commenced. You know, or Dunderhead operation complete. He called us Dunderheads. That that got me. It was just that charm in the robots, you know, that funniness it had to it, and that in that raid, we was all working as a team as well. So it was all those things mixed together. It was a wonderful thing. Later on in the raid, we was doing some work on the rest of the bosses, but Master and Blaster will always be my favorite. Master and Blaster, man. Whenever you come against him, he's like, all right, Dunderhead operation. No, wait, what was it? He said Dunderhead dispatch. Dunderhead dispatch operation commence. And he started blasting you, and I'd be like, oh shoot. And I died when I first heard it. It was hilarious. I could not keep it in. And this one time I was playing with this group, and they could not get past Blaster even. They couldn't even get past him, much less get all the way to Master. And whenever Blaster killed him by himself, he was like, and he was jumping. This big old gigantic droid was jumping around, shaking up the whole platform. Look at that! I didn't even need the boss. Oh man. Later on in that operation, though, my adrenaline was pumping because we had just got through the hard, dude. I think it was that one dude with the shotgun, and he just hits the whole party if you point him the wrong way. Sometimes he would just get ornery like that, and he would just point the wrong way anyways, and just shoot the whole half the team, and they'd be dead. And then he called his little drunken pirate buddies, and they'd come out of the bar or whatever, and they would hit you up if one of the tanks didn't pick him up and drag him around or whatever. No, he had to pick up a barrel of like alcohol or something and drag him around with it. It was some crazy funky psychedelic thing. So we got to the last boss, and it was this lady and this bird, and she was like, okay, you guys will not, pass any further, we gonna stop you, yada yada yada, alright, come on, let's fight. And we go to fight this lady, and lady, yeah, we gotta do this, there's certain mechanics to it, yada yada. We killed the lady, and the bird goes ballistic, wipes the whole party. Now, we kill the bird, and we go back in, we kill the bird, and the bird is worse than the lady. The bird is not the bird. Yeah, we kill the bird, and the lady's worse than the bird. So what we had to do, because we couldn't take either one of them, what we had to do is we had to get them low at the same time, and time our burst damage to kill both of them at the same time. And it was just, oh man, the coordination that was needed for that fight was unreal. It was amazing. With just the fact of working as a team to do something that you never would have been able to do on your own, and everybody telling you, oh, you did a good job, you did a great job, you're a really valuable member of this team and all of that jazz. That's my stuff. That's what I like right there. I like to be useful to people. I like to make other people happy. That's one of the main things I like to do as a person and even as a gamer. But that wasn't it. That wasn't all. That lady was not the real boss. The real boss came after we killed the lady and the bird, and the real boss came up and was like, all right, y'all, it's over. And he blows up the whole like half of the ship, and we drop through the floorboards, and we're fighting on like a wing of the ship in the sky. And my computer glitches out at this moment. I don't know what's going on. All I see is the sky, and it looks like we're walking in the sky. And this boss, he hauls around and picks up one of our members, and you gotta stop DPS, the damaging him before you kill your own party member, because he hauls off and just chokes him up, and he holds him in front of your whole party, and if you hit him, all the damage goes to your ally. And we killed like a whole half of our squad doing this mess, and we was like, okay, by the time we got it down pat, whole half the squad was gone. No, whole 3/4, and it was nothing but us 4, and the boss was at 25% health. It was do or die time. We did it or we died. That was the only options. And I was trying to keep the other healer alive. I was throwing him. Was it her or him? I think it was her.
Her.
I was throwing her some heals, trying to keep her alive, throw her some shield every now and again. She couldn't take it. She just, and I was the last healer. And I had like a healer, 2 DPS, and maybe 1 tank. And man, shoot, I was healing the mess out of them boys. Oh, yeah. And the boss was just smacking people upside the head and all of that. I really felt like I was worth something that day. You know, I really felt like I did some work that day. It never happened again, and it may never happen since because the game's pretty much dead now. But just the wonderful feelings you get from that experience. That's what makes memories. That's what makes a good game. That's what makes a good experience. You know, that's what I liked about it. That's that's it right there. That's it. But and so that was our first video game. Well, not video game. That was our first MMO. What? Hold on. I gotta pause for a minute.
2 hours later.
Where was I? Oh yeah, that's right. We talked about what we liked about it, or that one moment we liked about it. We talked about what the did we talk about what to improve on the game? Yeah, how we feel like the game, that one game could improve.
Well, personal opinion on what it can improve on is if it went back to the style of pretty much you customize your own character, and your actions have dire consequences. They didn't want to do that because they had people that were complaining about, I did this, I didn't know, and this happened.
Yeah,
well,
that's life for you. You didn't know. That's. I mean, I don't know. I guess it's different for everybody. Everybody deals with it in different ways. Maybe you want to play a game to get away from life. You know what I mean? That might have been how they were thinking, and they want to play a game to get away from life, and they don't want real life stuff happening in their game. It might have been what it is. I can see that happening to some people, but at the same time, I like to know that I'm doing something when I'm making the decision.
You remember what happened to us?
What?
In a certain game we played, the exact same thing happened. We made a decision, and little did we know that was the only character you ever get to make, unless you wait 14 days and log in again.
Oh yeah, that's right. Yeah, that game. Man, it is what it is.
Man, it is what it is. Can't understand a man if you ain't live what he lived. Coaches in the crib ain't got no food up in the fridge. Plus the crime running rampant and it's screwing up the kids.
Man, it is what it is. We can probably go talk about that game on a whole nother podcast. But yeah, man, it is what it is. Man, it is what it is. We gonna play the music on this time. Man, it is what it is. Can't understand a man unless he lives what he lives.
Man, it is what it is. Can't understand a man if you ain't live what he lived. Coaches in the crib ain't got no food up in the fridge. Plus the crime running rampant and it's screwing up the kids.
But yeah, that's his viewpoints on what could improve. Me, what I would improve upon is just, I don't know, get more people to play it. Oh yeah, remember when they changed the what's it called? Oh, remember when they changed the stats? The stats, yeah, it was complicated, but it was a level of depth. They changed the stats to all be one stat, so it lost a whole lot of that depth. That when you did that, it felt good when you finally got your build right. You know what I mean? When you finally got your stats in, and you finally got your that good stuff. Like you got your equipment just the way you want it, with all the stats you wanted in it. Like you got your power, you got your crit, you got that percentage, and you could customize it a little bit depending on your playstyle and how you felt about it. Thing is, I guess they wanted to attract more people. Yes, sir. And so they made it they probably made it to where it would be more accessible. But simply that's the thing, in a lot of games you will, it's the difference between complexity and depth. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Depth can bring complexity, but it doesn't necessarily have to be that way. When you take some of the complexity out of the game, trying to make it more user-friendly or beginner-friendly, it takes some of the depth out of it, and the depth was actually enjoyable. When you actually got your stuff right, and it was just how you wanted it, and it was doing work. Like your build, I'm pretty sure, there's some stuff you can't do anymore with your characters because they did that. You know what I mean? There was a certain skill that I had that healed, and every time you crit, it would do a certain thing and pop off this right here, and then you could feed that back into this, and it would be a cycle. It would add to my rotation. My rotation would be so much better and do so much healing per second. Because of that, you know, I overloaded a little bit over here on crit, and then I overloaded a little bit here on surge or power for like crit power, and I was getting like buckets of healing done. But because I had a certain ratio of crit to crit, of crit and crit power, like crit multiplier. My crit multiplier was like plus 75%, and the crit power, not crit power, but the crit chance was like plus, it was 25%, I think, something like that. And that was the perfect number for me, at least the way I played, because I like to use that one ability that if it crits, it feeds back into this ability. Use that ability and it powers back up the one that crits. So you just keep rotating between the two, or maybe the three, if you wanted to, you know, put a bubble on somebody or do something else with it. That right there was, that was what I want. That was it. That's all I needed right there. I just, I had it. And then they come in and make it all one stat. And now your crit chance is not separate from your crit multiplier now. Even your, like, the power of your attacks. The power of your attacks, the crit multiplier, the crit chance is exactly the same. Well, yeah, for everybody now that has a certain amount of this one stat. There was 3 stats. There was like power, there was surge, and there was what's the one for crit chance? Surge was crit damage. Crit chance is another one. It was like power, surge, and one other thing. And I just
Crit.
It was crit. Yeah, it was called crit. Yeah. Power, surge, and crit, and I just balanced those out to the perfect for my character and for my play style. Now everybody's got the same amount, and there's and you lose some of that joy from coming up with your own thing that actually worked for you.
To expound on what you're saying, they also change. Each character had their own stat that they would use. Like a bounty hunter would use aim. Operative would use cunning.
Yep.
A Sith would use strength, and Inquisitor would use willpower. Now that's all called natural attributes, something like that. So you could take off all your gear off of one character. Yeah, master. So you could take off all your character gear on one person and put it on the other one, and it'll still work the same.
Yep.
That shouldn't work that way.
A lot of it felt like it invalidated a lot of people's hard work that they did. You know what I mean? All that hard work you did trying to, you know, get that right gear and right this thing, and then it comes out like that, and now you can put the gear from one character to another and have it work perfectly fine. Crying shame. Just crying shame. It just invalidated all of that work. Now you didn't have to do it in the first place.
I have to go to the mail and get something.
All right.
So, you want to stop it here?
Yeah. Actually,
you got something to do?
Actually, yeah. I got something to do too. So how about we just pick it up next time? This has been January and Ashero signing off.
I think that was a little more than what you said. How long you want the episodes to be?
True.
You know.
So yeah, we might do little 30-minute videos, you know. Anywho's, Ashero January signing off. Maybe we might do hour videos. I don't know. Well, who knows? Two brothers out. Cue the outro music.
Oh no.
No. Okay. Yeah, we can work with it.
Let's leave it to the robots and be like him.
Oh yeah, be like Philo. Oh yeah. We'll leave it straight to the robots. So what was it? I'll leave you with the robots. That's it. I'll leave you with the robots. All right, for real now.
Okay.
For real. See y'all later. Like for real though. Like for real though. For real. Not even playing.
Oh my goodness.
Not even playing. For real.
All right. Well, I'm gonna see you later.
I mean.
I guess see you. All right.